So the next one is, ladies, is you are acting and operating from emotions than logic, right? So a guy would be breadcrumbing you, right? He'd be broke as fuck. He'd be throwing sexual innuendos at you, right? Speaking to you in a disrespectful way, right? Backhanded compliments. I've had that before. And then it kind of confuses you, right? Because you're like, it was a compliment, but it was like a backhanded compliment. So you just kind of have to sit with it, and you're like, actually, that wasn't nice. That wasn't genuine. That wasn't authentic. That was just like to put me down, to make me feel less than. Right? And they say, oh, I want to see where this goes. I just want to go with the flow, right? And then he does all of that, and then you say, oh, but the chemistry is so good. I've never met anyone like this before. I've never had this connection before, right? And you're on a roller coaster ride. And long time ago, ladies, I used to think to be in a good relationship, you have to fight for love, right? Where it's like one person is like, there's a problem, you're confused, then there's miscommunication, then you fixed it, but then you broke up because like he wasn't emotionally available, but then he comes back and then wants you back, but then the problem never solves itself. And then it's always just like, you just think like, oh, it's just miscommunication, or like, oh, but he's just not ready yet. I just need to like convince him like I'm the one, blah blah. And in your mind, you're just like, oh, there's just all these problems, but we can overcome them together. But these are not problems where like your values are aligned, you're compatible, blah blah, and all it takes all the like, you know, non-negotiable boxes. These are just like big ones where it's like they're just not emotionally ready and mature enough to have a committed relationship. They don't even want commitment, right? Or they are like full on like hardcore doing drugs or like doing crazy shit, and just not a good influence on you, or they just lives aren't compatible at all, where you've done the inner work, you're into self-development, right? You have taken risk, you worked on yourself to earn this amount of money money in your career, but he's earning like barely anything, right? And there's no ambition, like so many women and me in the past, where these men we put in front of us and we're like, oh, but the connection, the chemistry, blah blah, are lies. These are all just trauma replaying itself, where you need to prove yourself to the man, where it's always like chasing, and you chasing because you had that with your parents, your caregivers when you were younger, and how you were raised, that you always had to prove, and you always had a bit of like anxiety of like, you never know how are they going to show up for you, right? Sometimes maybe they will say like, oh, I love you, but then other times it's conditional, right? So then you've learned in your dating life, in your relationships, that sometimes they'll love you, sometimes they won't, and you have to prove and you have to act, and you got to pretzel and audition for them for you to get the affirmation. And I can go more into this in a video, but I want to keep it on this one, right? But then you're like, oh, he's so hot, there's so much chemistry, blah blah blah, but kissing him and all of this is like, I've never had this before, right? But right in front of you, logically, ladies, he does not fit the bill. He doesn't even treat you right. He disrespects you. He's not even financially like there of like giving you your dream life, and you're like you're betting on his potential, like a lot of women do, right? You think of all these excuses, and you're like, oh, but it can work out, but like this and that. But at the end of the day, he's just not showing up right for you. He's just not the right man. And you may say, oh, but he needs some time to think, and then we'll come back together. Like, I have in my past, like years back, I would think up of all the crazy excuses, ladies. All the crazy excuses where, oh, but like, his mom died or whatever, the guys that I was dating, like, oh, he's just not good at showing his emotions because he's just got trauma, and I'm gonna work with him through it. Like, I'm gonna be the one who fixes him. I'm gonna be the one who helps him, right? Or like, oh, like I remember I was dating this guy who used to smoke, and then he lied to me that he stopped smoking for 6 months, but he just kept smoking and took drugs, right? It's just crazy. Like when I tell you, ladies, the men that I've dated and the men that I've the men that show up for me today, so different. Night and day. I look back and I'm like, crazy. Like I was dating bottom barrel man. And this is why I do what I do, because through my experience and the inner work that I've done and the self-development work and the investments that I've done to change my life, to attract different in my life, like it's possible. Like, and I want to explain to you ladies and to share with you ladies my experiences in the past so you can see I've been on this side of the spectrum, but now on this side of the spectrum, and any one of you ladies can do it. So when you are, dating all these men, right, that are breadcrumbing you, they aren't financially successful, have no ambition, right, and throwing all these comments at you, backhanded compliments, and you're just like, but then you're like, but it was a compliment, but then you're just like, and your body doesn't know what to do with it, right, and you sound to the guy and to an outsider who is healthy, secure, right, you sound like a naive puppet that can be manipulated. And I didn't see at the time. I was so naive. I was so like, I know everything, like about dating, about love, and we just gotta work through this. And the whole time I was convincing myself and lying to myself, right? And so when you are in the naive, like teenage, like you're wrapped up in the emotions and the roller coaster of it all, when you believe like, oh, I need to fight for love, you're not actually like healthy and secure. When you are a grown woman, right? Grown women actually look at their financial status, right? They look at how generous he is, how they actually treat her, right? And if they fit her compatibility list. There's no like judging it on like, oh, how I feel and the chemistry and the ups and downs. There's none of that. A grown woman who is secure and healthy, has respect for herself, will look at, does he tick the boxes? Yes, no, right? And that's her gauge. And she doesn't get caught up with all the emotions or how hot he is. Oh my God, like all of that. When you are operating from that place, it's all trauma because you're recreating the relationship you had with your parents and how you were raised. It's always like that tug and pull of love, tug and pull of proving, oh, I got my affirmation, now they pull it back because it's conditional love, now I gotta prove again, right? So a grown woman does not tolerate any type of like flow boy, any type of disrespect. And she like I said, she looks at a compatibility list. She looks at, does he fit the bill? She doesn't like, you just don't entertain that at all. You don't entertain lies. You don't entertain like a man fumbling you. You don't entertain like a man who barely makes like any money, who's broke, right? When you are a grown woman, you look at yourself and you're like, I have invested a lot of time in my self-development, in my career, in my self-care, and you can truly feel and see like your own value, and the love you give for yourself, if a man can't top that, right? You're just like so unattached. You don't even entertain them. It's ick. It grosses you out. But you only get to this stage when you're at this stage yourself. It's always proportional to how much love you give yourself. And a lot of you ladies might be watching this and may not be able to feel this yet because you haven't gotten to this stage yet, right? Because back then I was earning a lot less. I was still kind of working like the 9 to 5, and I was still like swaying on my boundaries, right? Even though I said I wanted this, but I would like, but it's okay, like for this exception, whatever. And until I stayed super like, it was like clean cut, tight with my boundaries, right? There's no way it's swaying from them. And I respected myself and I shut up for myself. Then the men just got so much better. Not only that, they were more successful, and then they were also ambitious, and they were masculine, right? Successful. They only show up when you show up for yourself. And you may think, oh, where are they? Blah, blah. Again, it's always proportional and in reflection of the work you do. So stop letting emotions run than seeing men for truly who they are today. Stop dating them for their potential. Start looking at how they treat you from day one, right? And stop falling in love with who they could be, who they could grow into, how much money they could earn. But like once they understand me, then they'll treat me better, right? Things can change, right? They can grow to be more successful, earn more money down the line, and then down the line, they can give me the life that I seek. No. Grown women, healthy, secure women, women who are high value, right? And respect themselves, right? They take men exactly who they are today and how they treat them today. There's no like giving out 100 chances. And this flows into the next one. Stop explaining yourself and sending giant essays and paragraphs to men who fumble you. And I will be the first person who will lift both my arms up and say that I did this so many times and I had to learn from this. And this isn't even flows into the clients that I've had in the past. And I'll talk about that in a different video, because if you didn't really know, business and dating actually connects a lot, and money. But, you know, men know what they're doing all the time. They can say stupid things and they can say things that go, oh, like I didn't know that, but I was just like, I was scared to do this. I wasn't sure, so I didn't do it. Or like, I was going to get you that, blah, blah, or whatever that they will say, right? And they made a mistake, they fumbled you, they didn't show up for you, right? And us women like to give them the benefit of the doubt. a lot. Not only once, twice, 3, 4, 500 times. Right now I've done this a lot where I'll full on explain, like they'll say something back and be like, oh, I didn't know that makes sense now, blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, this is how you made me feel. Like when you didn't do this, like it didn't seem like you cared about me. Like, how can you not? Blah, blah, blah. Like you act like it, but you act like boyfriend and girlfriend, but you don't want the title, blah, blah. And you write a whole freaking essay about it. And you know what you look like to these men? They're just like, oh my God, like again, another ick, another like, holy shit. And this is when they ghost you. This is when they leave you on red. This is when they go MIA for months. And then when they can't find better, they'll come back. And then they'll realize, holy shit, she didn't change. She's still writing these giant paragraphs and like proving her. You need to realize, ladies, that the more effort and time you put into writing these giant essays, these paragraphs to men that you barely even know. Maybe you haven't even been on a date on. Maybe you've been on a few dates on. It is very early in dating, right? You don't need to be the one who explained to men like what they did wrong, right? These men know, but they're trying to act dumb, right? And then we like to think, oh, but just men only men stupid. Men know, and you're dumb enough to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're dumb enough to give them the benefit of the doubt. I remember a date that I went on. This guy was 30 minutes late. And then he didn't even apologize. He didn't even like say, I'm so sorry, this is this. There was no like explanation of why he was late. And he was like, oh, apparently he was gardening or something. He's like, oh, I just got caught up in gardening. I'm on my way now. And I'm already at my house already to go on the date. Took time to do my hair and makeup and how I looked. And I'm just like waiting there. But like I like to time it because I just don't like to just be like sitting there. I just like time it to the last few minutes of like when we're leaving. I'm like, okay, I'll take an hour. So I'm going to get ready for an hour before we leave. And then like there's so many red flags. And I just kept letting them slide. And this was like the 5th one that I let slid. And then he showed up. Like he would just park outside, right? And then he didn't even get out of his car to open the door for me. Didn't even get out of his car to like wait, like come up to the door to ring the doorbell, to like say, hi, how are you? My name is blah, 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 like introduce himself and then open the door. He just sat in his car, right? And the rest of the day was just horrible. And just the way he like barely like showed up for me, like barely like, it was just gross. Like he was broke, he was feminine, he like of all the bad things, right? And I let it slid. And this is why exactly I'm sharing my experiences, to let you ladies know I've been there, and to not second guess yourself when you feel like there's something up, that he's not showing up for you. One, like if you have like a date set, communicate it, and then just say like, oh, I don't think we're aligned, blah blah, wish you all the best, blah blah. But the second thing is, don't keep letting things slide, because again, how he shows up and how he does one thing is how he will do everything. And men always know, but then you convince yourself like, oh, maybe he doesn't know, or oh, maybe he's not aware, or oh, maybe like he just needs to learn, blah 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 blah. So be careful with that, and don't write giant essays and paragraphs explaining yourself like men know. How you communicate that is just like one sentence, and you're like, wish you all the best, bye, right? You're not here to mother them, you're not here to train them, you're not here to like tell them like, this is what I need, this is what you need to do, this is gonna show up for me. Like, they just know by your energy and by the type of woman you are, and how you show up, and how you don't need to feel like, oh, like I need to like send a giant essay to tell him how he made me feel, what he did was wrong, blah blah. And if you want me, you gotta show up like this. Like, you don't need all of that. You don't need a whole thesis on that. They're just gonna look at you and go, oh my god, ew, and run. Because it's gonna, again, like I said about messaging, the person who like messages most is the one who cares the most and wants it more. And that's the guy's job. He needs to be the one who wants you more. Okay. And again, don't give away your precious time and energy to men by breaking it all down for them, right? You're not here to date a boy, you're here to date a man, and he needs to have learned that, have had life experience, the emotional intelligence, the maturity to understand that. And men come correct, right? When you are a woman that he knows that he can't fumble at first chance, right? He needs to feel like, I'm not going to get a second chance. This woman isn't a second, third, fourth, fifth, 100th chance type of woman. This is a woman where I need to show up at correct the first time. The next thing is, this question I get a lot is like, what questions do I need to ask on a date? Like, what are some questions, Brenda, that I need to ask on a date that is good prerequisite questions to see if he qualifies, blah blah, right? And when I get this question a lot, and I'm just like, no, you gotta stop overthinking, ladies, because when you're on a date, you just need to enjoy it, right? And you silently observe if they fit the bill, which is your compatibility list, which is your non-negotiables. And if you're in Dream Girl Academy, I have this compatibility list, which goes through every single like pillar of your life, how you want to be treated, how you want to be, how you want to feel the connection between your dream partner and you, your activities you would do, what he would do for work, how much he would earn, the lifestyle he would provide for you, blah blah. List goes on. I literally go on about everything, right? When you are Googling, what questions should I ask these men, blah, 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 you've already lost, right? You're not the prize when you have to be the one who researches, and because you're now, like I mentioned before, you are in the position of auditioning, like for the interview, auditioning for like the place of like, oh, like I would be a good candidate as their partner, as someone they could potentially marry, like someone they would be interested in, because I need to ask all these questions. No, ladies, like all the ladies that say, oh, dating is so hard. No, it does not need to be hard. You literally sit there. You literally, like I said, you don't lift a finger. They pick you up, they plan everything, blah, blah, they ask you questions. You sit there, you enjoy the ambiance, you enjoy the food, you enjoy the whole thing, right? Even if he's not the right guy for you and you figure that out on the day, you still enjoy yourself. I don't know, like when some of you ladies like, I don't like dinner dates. You don't like dinner dates because you don't know how to enjoy yourself. Women who don't like dinner dates, honestly, it's because they think like, oh, I'm in constant proving, like I have to come up with the questions. I need to be the one who leads the convo. You're in your masculine. When you're in your feminine, you enjoy the dinner date. Who fucking doesn't enjoy a dinner date? You get to order whatever the fuck you want. You get to go on a gas station, omakase, right? You get to get any drink you want, any dessert you want. And like, don't accept any dates where the venue isn't like a 10 out of 10 place, where it's like super bougie and new place, really cool food, and the food is like a piece of artwork. It's super beautiful, right? Like, you should enjoy dinner. The women who don't enjoy dinner are like questionable. Like, you're clearly not accepting dates that you clearly want to go on, and you are you're improving, man. When I'm at dinner, I'm just like enjoying, right? I ordered like a shit ton of like different type of drinks. I don't drink alcohol, so I'll order like a matcha, a mocktail, I have my sparkling water, I'll enjoy a juice maybe, I like whatever. I just like, I look around, I like enjoy the whole scenery. I talk to the waiter, waitress, and usually they're super chatty and like to talk to us. I enjoy my time. I enjoy my oysters. And if we go do an activity after, or like go to another bar, blah blah, I'm just someone who just loves trying new places. And this is like when I go on dates, like I always go to somewhere that I've never been before, that is super high-end, luxurious. Like, it's fun to dress up to, it's fun to experience a new place. So if you ladies aren't doing that, you're not doing dating right, because you should be going to a place that you are excited to go to, and regardless if he's the one for you, you have created a fun experience for yourself. And this comes back to the confidence in your ability to have a good time without everything needing to go right. Like I said, he may not have something that's crucial on your list, but you're still gonna enjoy yourself. You're still gonna, like, how hard is it to talk to another human being? Like, if you ladies need help with social anxiety, I also teach that in Dream Girl Academy. We go through that in the self-concept module, how to talk to strangers, put yourself out there so you lose that anxiety and you lose that feeling of like it's out of your comfort zone, like you're awkward. Like, I teach you like how to solo date, blah blah, all in the self-concept module in the Dream Girl Academy. But so when women tell me that they don't like dinner dates and they're so boring, you gotta learn how to have fun with yourself. You gotta learn how to entertain yourself. You gotta learn how to enjoy life, to appreciate what is around you without everything like having to go right, without everything like being in its place, blah blah. You can just enjoy your time. So back to stop overthinking about dating with like questions you need to ask. You're there to enjoy. You're there to be in your family. You're there to not lift a finger. And you're there to silently observe how he shows up. And so, like I said, you have your compatibility list. You have your non-negotiables, right? You know what you're looking for. So how a man shows up for you, right? The questions he asks you, how he responds to you, and the dates he takes you on, whether it's first date, second date, third date, couple dates down, tells you everything you need to know about him, and if he fits your love list, your compatibility list, and if he is a candidate for a potential good husband, right? Your compatibility list that you create, again, this is inside Dream Girl Academy that I give you, tells you everything you need to know, right? About if he's the right person for you. Your compatibility list is your Bible, and you're going to use your Bible as questions to ask, right? You always need to refer to your Bible, and everyone's compatibility list is different. That's why when women ask me, well, what are some questions I need to ask to pre-qualify? What are some dating questions? Like, look at your compatibility list, ladies. And everyone's different, because some of you ladies, you're looking for like a provider man making multiple 6, 7, 8 figures, right? He's masculine, he leads. Like you go on dates and you observe and you see, does he lead? Is he a masculine? Like what he does for work, does that earn multiple 6, 7, 8 figures? Like it's not rocket science to like common sense to see that, and you learn that. You figure that out by, okay, can I turn my brain off? Like, is he actually a full provider? Can he is he 10 steps ahead? Can he see certain things I need and attune to my wants and my needs and things that I don't even know I need yet, but he is already 10 steps ahead and he provides that for me without me, again, having to think, right? Can you be in your feminine? Does he plan dates? Does he send you flowers, gifts? Right? Does he spoil you? So again, if you're looking for a certain someone, how he acts, how he shows up, how he responds, everything is literally telling you. Again, a lot of these things you don't need to ask. Like, why would you ask, are you a provider? How much money do you earn? Again, ladies, it doesn't matter how much money a man earns. If he's earning like 8 figures even, and he isn't generous, isn't a provider, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares how much money he makes? What matters is he a full provider? Does he pay for everything? Can you be a stay-at-home wife, mother, whatever, if you want that? Like, who the heck cares how much money he earns if he doesn't spoil you? If he doesn't get you the things that you want? He doesn't make you feel like, oh, like I've got you, like you're the most beautiful woman in the world, like here's the bag that you've been talking about, that you've been wanting, that I've seen you looking up on your computer, blah blah. Like, and you can tell by how much he makes by, again, how he dresses, his car, the watch he wears, his shoes, and where he lives. At the end of the day, who cares how much money he makes? Obviously, it needs to be a set standard for your dream lifestyle, but it does not matter if he even earns that much if he's not generous to you. And if you're looking for someone who would drop everything to help you, right, whenever you are in need, does he do that? Right? If you need help moving something, if you're moving apartments, right, need help fixing something, does he immediately offer to come around to help you? Does he buy you whatever you said that you need? Like, oh, like I can take you out this weekend and we can go get it, blah blah. Or do you feel like he's a problem solver? Like you can just state the problem of like, oh, I'm having a bad day, oh, I don't feel well. He's straight at your door. He's like, what do you feel like eating? I'm gonna order you Uber Eats right now. Or he doesn't even ask you. He just sends you flowers, sends you your favorite foods, sends you like common sense stuff of like, oh, when you're feeling sick, you may want chicken soup, you may want like a nice bouquet of flowers, you may want blah blah blah. By the things that he asked you in the past, he knows what you like. So a lot of these things, ladies, that's why it's so important to rotationally date, and it's so important to not like rush into dating. Like, you don't have to be the one, ladies, to be like, oh, like I am like, where is this going? Never freaking ask that question. Because then that turns the tables again and makes him be the one where you're auditioning again. You never want to be the one auditioning. He's auditioning to be your future husband. He's the one auditioning to be your boyfriend, your fiance, all of that. If you are looking for a man who can be funny and silly and goofy, that laughs at himself, right? Does he act that way on the dates? So a lot of these things that could be on your compatibility list, ladies, are the things that you want in a man. You don't need to outright say them and ask these questions, right? And there's no point anyways, because you can ask these questions and anything he says is subjective to what he thinks about himself, or he could lie. Or like, you know, a lot of times men may say something and may not mean it, and then he may not show up for it. You always judge it by how he shows up for you. So maybe you're like dating like 3, 4, 5 men, right? And then you go on maybe 1 or 2 dates per week and you're rotationally dating, right? That's why it's so important to not put all your eggs in one basket and be so serious and be like, is this what you want? Like, are you a provider? Like, how much money do you earn? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you just literally lean back, and they are the ones who progress the relationship. They are the ones who go like, I've been having such a great time with you. I would love to take the next step with you and like be exclusive with you, blah blah blah. Would you be my girlfriend, blah blah, whatever it is. Like, and then you judge it and you look at your list and you go, does he tick the boxes? And if he does not, like, no. Like, you're not gonna commit to someone that you don't see as a potential husband, that you don't see that that he could be the father of your children, right? And you keep your energy super light and clean, in the sense of you're not the one putting pressure. They are the ones worried that you're gonna get snatched up, right? That's the whole reason why you rotationally date. So you're not putting all your, like, it's like dense energy all in one person. Like, yeah, I better work out, right? You're gonna continue to have all your options until you're met with an offer of someone wanting to propose to you, like someone like either like fully committed to you for the intention of a proposal very soon, or a proposal, and he's everything that you're looking for, right? But you're going to stay single. You're going to keep your options open, because why would you commit to someone where he's not like marriage material, where he isn't like gonna get down on one knee like very soon, or he already has? Okay. And like I mentioned, everyone's compatibility list is different, and what you want in a man, because some of your ladies may want to be want to travel the world and be like more so content creators, or live a very active life, and some of you ladies might want like the like suburban housewife, have babies, blah blah life. So I can't give you like specific questions on what to ask. Next one is red flags. Red flags is a man when he says that he's open to anything, right? And he wants to see where it goes. When a man says that, you just know he's a flow boy, and you just don't want to waste your time with them, right? A mature, emotionally available man would immediately know this is what I'm looking for, and he isn't like swaying on it and has like, oh, I'm open to anything, right? They need to be 100% set on finding a wife, like a life partner. And if you're in Bumble and certain apps, that it needs to say that, right? You don't want to be like messing with a guy who's like, oh, I'm open to like flings and hookups, but I'm also open to find my person. This energy, so this energy, this split energy where they're like, oh, I'm open to this short-term hookups, flings, but I'm also open to find my wife. He's not going to show up. It's going to be confusing the way he shows up for you, right? Because he's still feeling you out. The difference between a man who's like, I'm only set on finding my wife, he's going to show up as a man that he's going to treat his wife amazingly from the beginning, because that is his intention. I'm finding a wife. A man who's like, oh, I'm like available hookups, available for like short-term whatever relationships and long-term, like he's going to be like very flowy, very like, oh, you want to meet up, you want to hang out. It's not going to be like, oh, would love to take you out on a date, blah blah. It's very different. So again, red flag. You may think, oh, but he's just open, but he's still open to finding his partner. No, just don't entertain them. Like, you can experiment, you can try it out yourself, but you are gonna find that men who are like, I'm open to anything, like they're available for anything. They're not gonna show up as the husband and as a high quality high quality provider man from the get-go. When they're flowy and they're very much like, oh, I'm open to friends, I'm open for hookups, I'm open for everything, like you're not gonna get the best treatment from the beginning, and you're not gonna get the full like all in like my intention is for marriage kind of feeling and energy. Next thing is they're still talking to the ex. Don't even entertain it, don't even question it, don't even ask, but why are you still talking to your ex? Made this mistake before. Just understand that they're just not ready. They're just in their own phase and own journey in their life where they're just still wrapped up in that. So just move on from that. Just next. You don't need to waste time. Like, even if you've been dating, he's like, it's amazing, you need to say to him, communicate, I'm looking for marriage. You want to give him time to figure what he needs to figure out with his ex, but you're going to like separate yourself from that right now, and you're going to concentrate on your own life, blah blah. You don't need to judge him for that, because everyone's going through their own thing. You just need to concentrate on you. And you just need to communicate, like, I'm looking for someone who's emotionally ready to let someone in and to find their partner, blah blah. That's what I'm available for, that's what I'm looking for. And just separate yourself. Don't need to drag it out and be like, we've had such a good time together, blah blah, like, how could you be talking to your ex, blah blah. Just separate yourself and say, this is what I'm looking for. Don't cling on to that next. You don't again, like, value yourself, respect yourself. You deserve a man who's like completely separated from, I've cut the cord from past relationships, and I'm just ready to find their person and just all in on you. Like, they don't need to have like 10,000 different women still like here and there willy-nilly, right? No. Another thing is liking other women's photos on social media. Like I said, if he is a genuine provider husband who's just looking for his dream wife and have his dream family, he's not gonna be liking like other women's photos, like half naked photos of them in lingerie, bikinis online. Like, a quality man does not do that. Only a flow boy, a man who's not ready to settle down, man who doesn't see the value of monogamy and one relationship, like their dream woman, will do that. A man who sees that the value in having one woman, committing to that woman, the value of that, cherishing that, how beautiful it is, right? The connection for that will like concentrate all their energy on becoming the best version of themselves and looking for the right woman, not entertaining their time and energy on these like surface level, no, like just quick dopamine hits that mean nothing. And just no. In order to find a man who only has eyes for you and like princess treatment for you, they have this energy of like, they already know that's disrespectful to the woman that I'm dating. That like, why would I be like doing that, commenting on all these women's photos, like if I have the dream woman? Like, a real true provider, a man that regards you as a prize would not do that on default. It like irks him. It like, it's gross to him. Like, he would be like, that's disgusting. As me, as a man, as a husband, that I would do that. That's just even gross that I'd be doing that and I'm looking for a wife. Like, no. Okay, inconsistent behavior, right? Going days or weeks without like speaking to you. And then they'll go MIA, ghost you, and then come out of the woodworks after like 5 days, after a week, after 2 weeks, after a couple weeks and months. And then they'll act like nothing's happened, right? They'll come out of the woodworks like nothing happened, like, hey, how you going? Blah, 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 and act like nothing happened. No, that's not what you're after. You're a man who's consistent from day one. Consistent in showing up for you, planning high investment dates with you, texting you, like following up with you, like already like obsessed about you, right? You're only available for that. So again, ladies, like give so many like benefit of the doubt, second, third, fourth, fifth chances of like, you're taking the bait. They'll come back like nothing has happened and be like, hi, how are you? And you're like, oh, it's going so good, blah, blah. But the whole time you were like, where the fuck has he been? And you've been checking your phone. He hasn't responded. Why would you accept that behavior? He already knows if you respond to that and you take the bait for that, he's going to be like, wow, I can like go MIA for like a week or 2 weeks and she'll still respond. Like, I can still take her on a date and have fun with her and kiss her and whatever, and like act like boyfriend and girlfriend, and then go MIA for like 2 weeks, a month again. Or I can date other girls, right? And like, this girl ain't gonna want commitment. This girl is still like acts like nothing has happened. Like, I can do anything and this girl will always come back. She'll always want me. Again, self-respect. So if you see yourself in anything that I've mentioned today, and these are just a few, there's just so many, but these are the few, main ones that I feel like I've gotten a lot of questions about, and with my own clients and experiences that I've also gone through that I didn't know at the time. And then like, it took months, it took years, and now where I'm like, this is why you did not attract the man that you wanted back then, Brenda. Right? And if you can see yourself in one or a few of the things that I talked about, and you want to learn how to get finally pursued, chosen, cherished, adored, where they are locked in on you, where they regard you as the prize, right? And you are the one chosen and spoiled, and the one chasing, the one pursuing, the one who's being the man, the one who has to always think, has to plan, has to move things forward with a man, right? If you want to learn more, this is all inside my Dream Girl Academy. And ladies, you'll be shocked by how fast the tables turn when you realize that the energetics and embodiment of what princess treatment and being the prize truly feels like, especially if you have never experienced like being completely taken care of. Like, you're just sitting there and he just thinks of things to impress you with, to woo you with. Like, he'll come with you with gifts, with food, with drinks, with like anything and everything that you could possibly like maybe not even think about. And like that happened to me when I did the inner work, changed like how I show up to the world, changed how I viewed myself, right? And like learned the dating psychology of it, like energetics of it all, and the energetics of princess treatment. I was like, what the fuck have I been doing before? Like, what have I been doing before? Why didn't I know this? And thank God I did, because this has changed my entire life. Like, and then before I've been taking on like casual dates, they were 50-50, whatever. Then the other side of the spectrum, all luxury dates, Michelin star dates, right? And men who drive luxury cars, right? Who are multi six-figure cars that they pick me up in, and custom cars that they buy and they get like customized, right? And I'm just like, once you unlock this level and know all of this stuff, there's no going back. There's no going back, ladies. If you feel called to work more on this, the link is down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, ladies. There's gonna be more videos like this because I really enjoyed it. And I will see you ladies in my next video. Bye.